Once upon a time, in the ancient past, the world was divided into 4 great continents. The eastern continent of divine victory, the western continent of oxen and horses, the southern continent of Jambu, and the northern continent of Kuru. In the eastern continent of divine victory, there was a country called Aulai. About 200 or 300 miles from Aulai, near the sea, there was a picturesque mountain called Flower Fruit Mountain. The mountain was covered with all kinds of fruits, including peaches, bananas, watermelons, and pineapples. Many small animals lived there as well, such as squirrels, monkeys, elephants, and a herd of spotted deer. On the seaward side of Flower Fruit Mountain, there was a reef that was constantly battered by wind and waves, absorbing the essence of heaven and earth, sun and moon. Over time, it gained a spiritual essence. One day, a wave struck and the rock cracked open, revealing a stone egg inside. Another 500 years passed, and with a loud bang, the stone egg split open, and out sprang a stone monkey. The stone monkey rubbed its eyes, slowly opened them, and looked around at the world. Ah, blue sea, blue sky, green trees, forests, how beautiful it was. The stone monkey joyfully stretched its arms and legs, climbed down from the reef, and hopped into the forest. Along the way, he saw a little rabbit hopping past him and birds chirping in the trees. Everything was so new to him. The stone monkey came to a small stream and saw his reflection in the clear water. At first, he was startled and ran away. Then he cautiously returned to the stream and carefully looked at the reflection in the water. Gradually, he realized, this is what I look like. The stone monkey played by the water for a while and began to feel hungry. He ran into the forest to pick wild fruits. Suddenly, he noticed a group of creatures that looked just like him watching him. The stone monkey did not run away. He just stood there, a bit puzzled. A few bold monkeys approached him and asked, "Where did you come from?" The stone monkey pointed in the direction of the sea reef and said, "I came from there." The monkeys asked, "Where are you going?" The stone monkey pointed toward the fruit trees and said, "I'm going there." The monkey said, "Great, we're going there too. Come with us." The stone monkey agreed. Okay. Within a few days, they became good friends. One day, the monkeys were playing by the river. One monkey suddenly asked, "Where do you think this river comes from?" The monkeys looked up and said, "Why don't we follow the river upstream to find its source?" "Good idea, let's go." So the monkeys cheerfully followed the small river upstream. They climbed halfway up the mountain, and the sound of the water grew louder. Rounding a mountain pass, a magnificent scene appeared before their eyes. A huge waterfall cascaded down from a cliff opposite them, dozens of feet high, creating a mist of white water vapor and a deafening roar. One monkey pointed at the waterfall and said, "What do you think is inside there?" Another replied, "Why don't you go in and find out?" The first monkey said, "Why don't you go in?" Another monkey said, "With such a huge waterfall, who dares to go in?" At this moment, an old monkey walked over and said, "Whoever can go in and come out, we will make him our king. How about that?" Great! The monkeys shouted in agreement, but none dared to go in. Then the stone monkey stepped forward and said, "Let me try." With that, he closed his eyes and leaped into the waterfall, disappearing into the white mist. The stone monkey landed on the ground, shook off the water droplets and opened his eyes to see a strange sight. Inside the waterfall was a cave, dry with not a drop of water on the ground. The cave was filled with stone tables, stone chairs, stone pots, and stone stoves, left by unknown people from an unknown time. At the entrance of the cave stood a stone tablet inscribed with the words, "The blessed land of Flower Fruit Mountain, the heaven of the Water Curtain Cave." The stone monkey was delighted by what he saw and began to play inside the cave. The monkeys outside waited for a long time, and when they didn't see the stone monkey come out, they thought he had drowned. After a while, the stone monkey, tired of playing, emerged from behind the waterfall. The monkeys, seeing him unharmed, crowded around and asked, "What's it like inside?" The stone monkey wiped his face and said, "There's a cave behind the waterfall and it's very interesting. Everyone, come with me to take a look." Saying this, he led a few brave monkeys into the cave first. The others looked at each other and then followed. Once inside, they saw that it was just as the stone monkey had said. The monkeys were so happy they jumped and swung on the vines like swings. The stone monkey lay on a stone bed, clapping his hands with joy. After a while, he suddenly quieted down and asked, "Did you say that whoever can get in and out of the waterfall should be made king? Do you still mean that?" The old monkey, leading the group, said, "Of course we mean it." The stone monkey asked, "Then why don't you come and greet your king?" The old monkey quickly led the group to kneel and said in unison, "Greetings to the king." The stone monkey laughed and said, "Everyone, stand up. From now on, this will be our home." As the monkeys were cheering, suddenly one monkey tilted its head and stopped breathing. The stone monkey asked, "What's wrong with him?" A little monkey went over to check and said, "Reporting to the king, he has no breath left." The stone monkey asked, "What does it mean to have no breath?" The old monkey came over and said, "Having no breath means he is dead." The stone monkey asked again, "Why did he die?" The old monkey said, "Birth, aging, sickness, and death are unavoidable. We cannot escape it either." The monkeys, hearing this, all looked sad. The stone monkey was also unhappy and said, "How can we avoid death?" The old monkey said, "To achieve immortality, only an immortal can help." The stone monkey asked, "Where can we find an immortal?" The old monkey said, "It is said they live in the southern Jambu continent, across the sea." The stone monkey asked, "How far is it from here?" The old monkey said, "It is said to be tens of thousands of miles away." The stone monkey said, "For the sake of our descendants' immortality, no matter how far, I must go." The next day, the monkeys helped build a raft and gathered many wild fruits, putting them on the raft. The stone monkey wrapped a skirt of woven leaves around his waist and set off. He drifted alone on the sea for several months. One day, he finally saw land. The stone monkey paddled the raft ashore and saw a performer practicing martial arts on the beach, surrounded by a crowd. The stone monkey, seeing the performer's high skills, approached and asked, "Are you an immortal?" The man laughed and said, "What? An immortal? Immortals live in the mountains over there." The stone monkey looked in the direction he pointed and saw a distant green mountain shrouded in mist. The crowd, seeing a furry monkey that could speak, fled in fear, leaving their belongings behind. The stone monkey picked up some clothes, thanked the performer, and headed into the mountains. In the mountains, there were ancient pines and cypresses with streams flowing gently. As the stone monkey walked, he heard singing in the distance. In a meeting place, there are either immortals or Taoists. A woodcutter carrying firewood came down the mountain. The stone monkey bowed and said, "Greetings, old immortal." The woodcutter put down his load, looked at him, and laughed. "What did you call me? Old immortal? I'm no such thing." The stone monkey said, "If you are not an immortal, how do you know immortal songs?" The woodcutter laughed and said, "Oh, the old Taoist on the mountain taught me that. Whether he is an immortal or not, I don't know, but he is very much like one." The stone monkey happily asked, "Where does he live?" The woodcutter said, "Just follow this mountain path all the way up. When you see a cave dwelling, you've found it." Then he picked up his load and went down the mountain. The stone monkey followed the mountain path up, and indeed saw a cave dwelling at the end. Beside it stood a stone tablet inscribed with "Spiritual Platform Cave Heaven, Slanting Moon, 3 Stars Cave." The stone monkey, feeling hungry, jumped up a pine tree to eat some pine nuts. At that moment, the cave door opened and a handsome young boy came out, looking around and saying, "Who is making noise here?" The stone monkey quickly jumped down and said, "It's me." The boy, startled, asked, "Where are you from, and what are you doing here?" The stone monkey said, "I came from far across the sea to seek a master to learn skills.